Hey everyone, so what I'm talking about today is the expert trap, and this is a section from a module that I created for the Hero Mentoring Academy on prescribing versus coaching, and it's where I really dive into the difference between coach-centered coaching and client-centered coaching. So with client-centered coaching, just to recap before we get into the expert trap, the client-centered approach is collaborative, okay? And the reason that we do that is because it strengthens motivation and commitment, because it aligns with autonomy that we see in self-determination theory. If we are the expert and we just lecture and we prescribe things to our clients, it generally doesn't work. And what we do with the client-centered approach is we put the client in charge. Okay? And this actually promotes adherence to a certain behavior change because they're involved in the process, all right? They feel like they're part of it. So that leads us on to just today's short topic, which is the expert trap. And the expert trap is when we just tell our clients what to do. So that's a sign of coach-centered coaching. Whereas when we look at client-centered coaching, we know that the clients are the expert in their own lives. So let's look at the example of a client saying they want to add more veggies into the meals that they're currently having, all right? So the expert would just say, yeah, you could add salad kits and pre-chopped veggies to the dishes that you already like, such as tacos, pasta, sandwiches, and soups, all right? They're just telling them what to do. Whereas in the past, I've had clients where I've asked them what their ideas were, and they've been completely different to what I would say, all right? They've then said things like, oh, I wouldn't mind having veggies as snacks. And I'm like, okay, that's great. You're more likely to follow through with it because that's something that you actually would enjoy because you came up with that idea yourself. I don't like veggies as snacks, so I wouldn't suggest it, okay? If we look at the client-centered coach, okay, they're going to ask questions now. They're going to ask things like, what ideas do you have for adding vegetables to the meals that you already make? And would you be interested in hearing some other meals that often taste great with added vegetables? So you can see there again, it gets the client involved in the process and it gives them autonomy rather than just us dictating to them how they're going to add more veggies to their diet. Now, there are a couple of ways that we can try and avoid this expert trap. And yes, like it's hard to understand sometimes why we want to try and avoid this trap because the clients come to us, they pay us for advice. And whilst we do have good ideas, obviously, so do they. So we want to actually give them a chance to test their knowledge. But if they don't have ideas, we can still help them. So first and foremost, you want to ask your clients for their ideas first before sharing your own, okay? The second one is then ask permission before providing ideas. Now, we're going to use the elicit, provide, elicit strategy, which I'll do another video on. But it's basically how we give advice in a way that still has that autonomy factor in there as well. The third thing is to try and keep yourself out of the conversation. So avoid saying things like, here is what I do in this situation, or here is how I add veggies into my diet, okay? Again, it just separates, it just adds a bit of a divide between the levels between you and the client. The saying that I love from Dr. Gary Mendoza is that we want to be the guide on the side, not the sage on the stage, okay? So we are alongside our clients on their journey. We are not a superior being on a pedestal, okay? And if we say things like, here's what I do, or here's how I stay motivated for training, or here's how I, add veggies or fruit into my diet, they might think, oh, I've got to do that. If they can't do it, again, it just adds a bit of a separation between you and them. We want to be, it's a mutual relationship and collaboration as well on the same level. And the last one is to, ask, would it be okay to share what has worked for other clients in the past? Okay, so this could be where you kind of say what has worked for you in the past, but you just say it in regards to here's what worked for other clients in the past. So again, you're not falling into the trap of saying here's what I do. So really, that's just a bit of an introduction into the expert trap. But what you can do from now on is before you go to say something in a consultation or to a client, just pause beforehand and ask yourself, am I about to speak as an expert and fall into the expert trap? And if so, what is something else you can say? Can you ask the client for their idea, or can you ask for permission before giving your ideas? Okay. Now, let me know if you enjoyed it. If you put it into practice this week with your consultations, please let me know. this is a very short snippet of a module that I created for the Hero Academy, and it's just one of the bonuses of being inside the Hero Academy. Not only do you get one-on-one mentoring, you get access to a range of resources as well. So if you are interested in one-on-one mentoring and all the extras that go along with it to help you run an efficient online business and become the best coach possible for your clients, please reach out to me via email or Instagram.